Alright, here we go. It's like a week later. I managed to get some new keys from eBay, like I showed you. This is the old key that I've taken out. You can see the broken part there. Now, the keys I ordered did not come with the metal spring wire here. I'm going to briefly show you how to change a key, which is fairly easy, apart from some of the keys are made for, the ones I ordered are made for various different keyboards. And I don't know if you can see these two little bumps here. Now, the keys that I got had an extra tall bump on this section here, so what I had to do was basically snap it off. I did double check on one of the other good keys just to make sure I was doing the right thing, but clearly it's a guide pin for a different model. Not this one, that one's important because that holds the metal spring in, but this little bump here on the keys I brought were just a little bit taller. So can you see the key that I replaced? I think it's quite obvious, isn't it? They're pretty easy to do, and once you get used to it, there's a metal spring in the back here that you need to slide under the center support, as you can see there, and it just sits there. See, it just touches that spike and sits there. You don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. And what I had to do, again, you can see the little chip in the side here. That's where I had to snap off the little extra guide piece that I didn't need. And you can see in the gap is a little plastic support. That is where the metal spine or spring needs to slide into, and you slide it, you get it sort of in this position. Ooh. Get it in this position, slide the front lower pins in first so it sits like that, and then you push it back and the back clip will pop into the hole, and that's it. And as long as the spring is aligned, it will spring back up, and then you put this back plastic bead in, and that stops them popping out essentially. If you can get it back in, I think where I've manhandled this, I've ended up damaging this slightly, but it's not really going to make any difference. It's just got a slight dink in it. There we go. That's that. So I had to change two keys in the end. Those two. Had to adjust the new ones just slightly to get rid of a piece of plastic that clearly is in use on other models. And now we need to clean all this up. As you can see, the crap inside there. So I'm going to get the vacuum out and a brush, clean all that, and then get it back together. Okay, so there's one other thing that I've done, which I did when I was taking the screw wouldn't come out of this part, and I've ended up snapping this little support here. So a bit of glue, and hopefully we can get it back in. So that's going to put us on hold for a little bit while we let the glue dry there. Might just have to put a bit of extra glue on there in a moment. But yeah, hopefully that will... I don't think it's going to be as strong as it was, but hopefully it will be just enough to support the base of the keyboard like it's supposed to be doing. Right, let's come back in a couple of hours. Right, we've got the basics back together. Here we go with all the screws. Lots and lots of screws. I haven't put all the screws in yet. The one thing I'm missing, or I can't remember, is this board went there, but I feel like it wouldn't sit like that, like there would be some little brackets for it or something. Ah, yes. I think these little white newels or barrels or whatever you want to call them will sit under that. Oh, I wonder if it was screwed from the other side. Oh, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's because there's nothing else that I've got in me spare bits. I've just got to find the other one of these. That could be anywhere, and I did hoover the office a few days ago, so we might be out of luck there. But as you can see, everything's back in, more or less. The only problem with taking this apart, really, was some of the older plastics were brittle, and I've had to glue them back in, but that's the joys of older electronics. Oh, the other thing, well, this connector here was just, it was pins and like not in a plug like this one. So they were all bent and I had to figure those out. But apart from that, I think we're going to be back in action shortly. I'm not going to bore you with putting the screws back in, but hopefully we get minimal amount of screws back in, and flip it upside down and power it up. Hopefully we might have some music back out of it. Okay, moment of truth time. Little discoloured key there. These keys are all working as should. They've all got recoil. Yeah, and none of them are pressing each other down. That seems good. Still a bit of cleaning to do, and I didn't notice there's a little bit melted there. Someone's rested it up against something hot. Right, let's power it up. Dun 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 dun, it might go bang. Oh no, bang. Got something like we want to be written on the screen. Let's plug it into the sound system. There we are, my expert playing there. That actually worked. Seem to have a permanent light on the floppy disk. I'm not sure if I had that before. I don't know, but can I play anything? Right, not really, but you hear it. Ooh. Right, we need to check the pitch. I'm not sure how to do this with two hands. Might have to be a bit... Need something that modulation makes a difference on. Yes. Modulator works. You can't hear it on the deeper notes necessarily, but definitely hear it there. If we change parameter settings, oh, that sounds like a song, doesn't it? God, sorry, something just fell apart in the background. But there we are. I'd say that's successful. Got to bang all the screws back in. See, all electronics are just electronics. A little bit of research online, you can repair anything. I'm afraid this is a synth, so I don't think it has a demo mode I can run as such. I wonder if there's any really good noises on here.